Alright, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Before we get into the game, I just wanted to finish my food. So we got some stuff to react to. I want y'all to see me eat my food, so I'm low-key just gonna make a small window capture right there like magic. Yes, sir. Oh yeah. Hold on. Put on the light just so y'all know. Pete. Oh, tell me that don't look good. Tell me that don't look good.
Eggs with the shell still on it. Swallow. And all I have to do is eat this entire carton of eggs with the shell still on it. Swallow these 4 hot dogs without chewing them. Shout out on this gnarly looking cactus.
Yo, twin, let me talk to you real quick. There's not even one person making you do this, bro. In one way, shape, or form, this is a demonstration of free will. Look at this nigga's face. He's not enjoying 1 second of this. Because listen, the thing about posting content online is there's a process, right? Before you post something, first comes the idea, and that's where we should have stopped. This guy LA Beast, I'm scrolling through his channel. Bro, he's been doing this for years on end. This is not a one-off eating challenge. This is this nigga's life. No regard for human life, just munching away at cactuses.
Yummers.
And this isn't the only thing I'd consider an extreme when it comes to making content, cause real ass thought though, isn't one of the biggest reasons people choose to make content is because it seems easier than a 9 to 5. Which is not, bro. I've been sacrificing my non-existent social life for this shit, bro.
Cut the show. I'm done.
But when your content consists of you putting yourself through physical trials and tribulations, you gotta really ask, is the oil rigs that bad though? Cause think about it, you come home from work dirty as hell covered in oil.
If your hands don't look like this while you're eating your lunch, you must be a liberal sissy.
And what you do is you collect that oil, and after 30 years, you might have a full tank, maybe. Allow me to give you some more examples of this treacherous content I'm speaking of. One nigga that's been allowed to fly under the radar for too long is Coyote Peterson.
I'm Coyote Peterson. I'm about to be bitten. Why the toe?
If you think about it, this is really just another clout chaser.
Spider.
You just reached a new level.
You don't really look like you want to do this though, do you, Coyote? You know, this guy's a wildlife David Attenborough, Steve-O situation. And to sum up his content, let me just dub over it. In this jar, we have what's known as an African tribe killer. Receiving its name after it bit a small African child, its powerful venom ended up killing the entire tribe.
What's the nigga from from TikTok.
Like Bluetooth or something of that nature. Now we're going to be receiving a lethal dose of this venom directly into our bloodstreams. I'm never doing a bit like that again, but you get the idea. The guy gets bit by stuff that you don't want to get bit by. And then just look at his reaction after getting stung by an executioner wasp. I would say that's an appropriate reaction after getting stung by
And he did this over and over and over, bro.
an executioner wasp, gang. And then bro goes on to say this.
If something got the then if it has the word execution in its name, I want no involvement. I want no involvement, bro. What are we talking about?
Firmly answer your burning question. Yes. For me, this really is the end.
Look at his recent videos, you lying ass nigga. 8 of 12 of the videos involved you being hurt by some form of wildlife, bruh. But whatever pays the bills, I guess, Coyote. Damn, Coyote's a tough ass name. To an extent, I'd understand somebody like Coyote doing things like this. Let me get that to an extent slowed and reverbed. But when people do dumbass challenges for like 50 seconds of fame, bro, your skull is hollow, give it a knock. But surely the phrase do it for the vine or do it for the gram has straight up claimed lives. Like those words used to move mountains, I'm telling you.
For the gram? Yeah, for the two? For the thumbnail. Oh, if it's for the
But you know the saying, you tell me to jump and I say how high? Stay with me now. For content creators, the people say they want good, entertaining content. And for some reason the reply is, so how many Tide Pods did you want me to eat? I got 3 in my hands right now. Sometimes I really think I'm a higher functioning life form, bro. Yes, my corners are receding, but you don't see me doing no dumbass challenges, alright? If I'm gonna do something for content, it's not gonna be on the lines of no David Blaine shenanigans. David Blaine is the CEO of just doing
I went
shit.
and got a fluoroscopy, and I realized that you could actually make an aquarium in your stomach, and you could have koi fish, creatures, or anything.
What is he talking about? This nigga just say he's gonna make an aquarium in his stomach?
Lines of
How's
no
that even
David
work?
Blaine shenanigans. David Blaine is the CEO of just doing
I went
shit.
and got a fluoroscopy, and I realized that you could actually make an aquarium in your stomach, and you could have koi fish, creatures, or anything live there.
Just to list off some things he did in 1999. This is
Ridiculous. All the other and that's just one of the craziest things he's done, bro.
predating Do It For The Gram. This deranged, irregular human decided to bury himself in a
This nigga, hold on.
predating Do It For The Gram.
If I never met this nigga, never seen him a day in my life, I would have thought he was an accountant or some shit, or a janitor, or some regular ass job. He was. What is his job description even?
Deranged, irregular human decided to bury himself in a plastic coffin underwater for 7 days with no reels. So instead of handing in a job application, this guy decided to spend 168 hours inside of a container. Honestly, an interesting perspective to have, but I know damn well bro was doing it for that cable TV clout. This nigga hung himself upside down for 60 hours straight. Doctors literally warned him that this nigga, they said he will die. David said, but them views though. And what I think is his most insane stunt ever is when he froze himself in ice for 63 hours. Surely the large majority of people were telling him just to not do this.
That shit sounds ridiculous.
Because even if he's just ignoring them, right? In one of his challenges, he hung himself over the Thames for 44 days. Surely there's some executive officials you gotta talk to beforehand, no? Or did the London government hear the pitch for the idea and for some reason approve it? But maybe I got this guy all wrong, because I don't think he even does it for the views. I think this is purely love of the game at this point.
I love the game. I love the hustle, man.
But it's easy to look at people like David Blaine and Coyote who physically harm themselves for videos. But the mentally straining videos low-key just be as bad. You remember Mr. Beast before he was a bajillionaire?
100%. Oh, fuck poor people.
He said this in a full Gucci tracksuit, by the way.
Ain't shit.
And to this day, he claims he has negative money.
Technically, everyone watching this video has more money than me.
Stop the cap.
In their bank account if you subtract the
Lying ass
equity
nigga.
value of my company, which doesn't buy me McDonald's in the morning.
Jimmy! Come on, Jimmy!
But anyways, before Mr. Beast was rich, he used to make videos like saying Logan Paul's name 100,000 times, which lasted 17 hours, by the way. It's actually crazy to think that Mr. 451 million subscribers was out here saying Logan Paul's name for content. Tedious content requires willpower, bro. That is something I don't have.
I'm such a fat fucking chub.
You know that Minecraft hardcore YouTubers that build those
Yes, I
insanely
am.
difficult things, and it takes like 4 months to
Yes,
just
sir.
complete one video? Those are the real grinders. Because what business do you have building a mathematically accurate black hole? It took bro over 500 hours of recording and editing, and a year in total to complete.
It's been a year, Daddy.
I have some building a, it's like 4 months
turd.
Willpower, bro. That is something I don't have.
I'm such a fat fucking turd.
You know that Minecraft hardcore YouTubers that build those insanely difficult things and it takes like 4 months to just complete one video? Those are the real grinders. Because what business do you have building a mathematically accurate black hole? It took bro over 500 hours of recording and editing and a year in total to complete.
It's been a year, Daddy.
I have somewhat respect for bro because at least his self-sacrifice for content does not involve committing crimes. I'm looking at you, bro. This guy Boonk is the CIA's prodigal son, bro. This nigga went viral just for stealing shit. And then he locks in and becomes a Christian rapper.
It's all skits. I got permission for it.
What a well-spoken YN. Boonk has actually got crazy character development. He gets a pass. Most of you have probably heard of Jackass. I could deadass make a whole separate video on whatever the fuck this is.
This is the blindfold. Race. We'll have 4 contestants compete in a 50-yard sprint, blindfolded.
The Jackass movies really encapsulate what I'm trying to say because people really just be doing anything for content. And you know it's bad when even Gumball points it out?
I gather the stupidest people in town. Word. Everyone has to wear a blindfold and run as fast as they can. The person who gets the furthest is officially the dumbest.
Whenever I see someone doing something within the vicinity of obscenity, I always think of the idea of life trajectory, which is pretty much like how unique experiences, opportunities, choices, you know, all that. It all leads someone to their present situation. Now, what choices could you possibly have made that led you right here, bro?
I mean, just you can be psyched out.
Not the right ones, nigga, I'll tell you that. Bro, for me to participate in a Jackass movie completely willingly, you have to give me either the deepest bag. I'm talking Rothschild, Rockefeller, blood money, Israel owns 98% of the world, alright? Or you have to throw it into blood. I'm talking Rothschild, Rockefeller.
That's a different type of wealth. Nigga, that's not rich, that's
Jackass
wealth.
movie completely willingly.
Generation.
You have to give me either the deepest bag. I'm talking Rothschild, Rockefeller, blood money, Israel owns 98% of the world, alright? Or you have to throw it into Blood Eagle and Braz and Ball Me. Why that sounds zesty though? You know it's not right. Subscribe. It probably sounds like I'm exaggerating my conditions for participation, which I'm really not. I'm good off this. 2 2s to my word, Crody, I'm not doing this.
Yo, you're sick to my stomach,
The
fam.
crazy thing is I can't even show the worst ones from Jackass, and I doubt I'll even be allowed to describe it, so I'm not going to. But when I dive into the psyche of people that are willing to put themselves through some bullshit for the sake of content, I question if they're really all there in their head, you know? Let's take a look at Steve-O, probably the most successful person from Jackass. How much money do you think they paid him for the first season? Like $100 million or something like that, you know? That seems like a reasonable amount. They paid this nigga 1.5 grand. That is the same amount as a set of 4 tires. But in the end, I guess it did work out for Steve-O because it did launch his career and allowed him to do fucking 4 more of these fucking movies. So maybe workout might not be the right word, but you know, he got a little something more than 4 medium range tires. Now, when it comes to content, it's not just all entertainment. I know we got some gooners amongst us, alright? Giving an opinion on OF is low-key too controversial nowadays. So instead, I'ma just pose myself with a hypothetical. If I was a Sophie Rain archetype, right? Am I thooting for the bag?
Dude, like, oh my god, like, can we talk about, like, the political and economic state of the world right now?
WVIP.
At the start of me creating this type of content, I made a video talking about characters who were just a long time ago. At the start of me creating this type of content, I made a video talking about characters who were just complete menaces to society. Some of the worst, most dangerous men in media history. Guys who have the same type of behavior to steal candy from children. I'm not gonna lie, I'll do that as well. But the point is that I spent time talking about some of the most devious, crazy, intuitive guys that I've ever seen in my entire life. And it low-key kind of did a little well. So I wanted to pivot this concept into speaking about some of the most evil, conniving, twisted people from anime. Because if it's one thing anime is known for, besides its peak fights, storytelling, transformations, and openings, it's the villains out here doing that madness. Whether they're reasonable for what they want to do to the world or to a specific group of people, or if they're just a hater and want to finesse everybody. Either way though, I can respect their game, man. And for today's video, I've gathered some of the most crazy types of anime villains and just wanted to expose these men and their nefarious antics. Cause half the shit these people have committed is diabolical and they need to do a life sentence in jail, I swear to God. And without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into case number 1. And you man might want to sit down for this one, because I got a sponsor, man. This video is sponsored by Private Internet Access. Did you know that when you connect to the internet at public places like airports or coffee shops?
No, sir. No free plugs. Nah, Nice try though.
You get Kira Yoshikage, the man who by appearance comes off as a normal working class citizen in the town of Morio, peacefully living his days out working at a department store, pulling all the fine women in the city, having a simple life with a dedicated schedule, and he also has a giant hand fetish. Yo, who is this guy, bro? Kira Yoshikage is a notorious serial killer who's out here murdering women and keeping their hands to most definitely do some weird shit. He always carries one around with him like his standard procedure. He has a hand in his house, in his coat pocket. While he was eating a sandwich, he ate the food off his hand. But the worst thing this guy did was when he started licking the sauce off the dead hand. Ugh, man, this guy's nasty. Even murderers don't move this disgusting when it comes to eating. Yo, at least most of these guys kill then eat, not merge this shit together. That's nasty as hell, man. Like, he definitely gives the vibe that he dines at Arby's and eats the meat mountain sandwich religiously there. Yo, no shade to anyone who eats at Arby's, but if you actually eat this shit, I need you gone, bro. This is diabolical. But this, no shade to anyone.
How many slices of ham is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's like 10 slices. What? And look at that in the background. Who's eating on that?
Anyone who eats at Arby's, but if you actually eat this shit, I need you gone, bro. This is diabolical. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is how life is for Kira. By day, he's a simple man working a 9 to 5. And by night, well, let's say he's creaming his hands a little, you feel me? And with all the simplicity and nobody ever being able to figure out Kira's true identity, that day would all change when Shigechi's fat ass decided to one day jack Kira's sandwich bag while he was eating in the park. And in the sandwich bag was the severed hand he was carrying. And bro started panicking. He was moving like, ah, shit, I'm finna go to jail. I can't do it. I'm gonna get done out in there, I swear. So with that in mind, Kira starts tailing Shigechi, who followed up with Okuyasu and Josuke to go have lunch at school together. With him finally retrieving his sandwich bag, and he could go on his merry way, minding his own business and attending his duties. Until this guy Shigechi caught him with the bag, and since he thought he was stealing his lunch, he starts using his stand to steal the bag back, which rips the bag in half and reveals the hand that was inside it. And Shigechi didn't know what the hell was going on. He was like, what the hell is this? Where's my food, fam? But he didn't know that as soon as he saw that hand, it was game over for him, bro. Kira knew that as soon as he ripped the bag, he had to die. So he summons his stand, Killer Queen, which in my opinion is one of the hardest stands in JoJo. Like the majority of them, it's also a close range beat 'em up type of stand, with its special ability being to turn anything into a bomb. And Shigechi's stand is literally designed for stealing.
Bro, this nigga's stand was so tough that he made a time bomb that would reset anytime he lost.
Shit. So you can guess how this went. Kira got Killer Queen to hold out a coin, which Harvest gave to Shigechi, and then boom, blew up in his face. Somehow he's still alive. So he walks his finessed ass all the way over to where Josuke and Okuyasu are at to warn them about Kira. But as soon as this man touched the door handle, it was already too late. Killer Queen already made the door handle a bomb.
This shit was just not right, bro.
This guy Kira just already made the door handle a bomb.
There's niggas walking in the background, by the way.
This guy Kira just mugged a 14-year-old boy. He killed a kid. He's crazy. But this is just the beginning. Kira and Killer Queen just start doing the maddest shit throughout the whole season. As everyone starts investigating into Shigechi's murder, Jotaro and Koichi follow up on a clue they had from a button Harvest took from Kira, which ends up in them pulling up to a tailor. And as the tailor is reaching into Kira's blazer, this shit just comes out and finesses his hand. A little tank that is Killer Queen's second ability, Sheer Heart Attack. And this thing is hella broken, don't get it twisted. Sheer Heart Attack is a small immortal tank that follows high heat signatures and just blows up anything in his way. Like it finessed Jotaro. He got boomed here. It was so overpowered, it forced Koichi's stand to evolve. That's how busted it was. With it being able to freeze the tank in place, which forced Koichi's stand to evolve. That's how busted it was. With it being able to freeze the tank in place, which pulled Kira back to the scene. And I'm not gonna lie here, it looked like it was over for him. Josuke and Okuyasu pulled up and figured out he's the murderer. Koichi and Jotaro are healed. Like, I thought they were gonna jump Big Man. But it turns out Kira had other plans. Right after getting cornered, this fiend chops his hand off and uses sheer heart attack and dips. Then when Josuke uses crazy diamond to heal his hand and the gang start chasing after it, they come to find out Aya is dead and Kira switched bodies. The man escaped. Yo, 10 out of 10 performance. I don't know how he pulled that shit, but that's cold, man. Kira has now switched bodies and became a man named Kosaku Kawajiri, a simple family man with a wife and a kid named Hayato. And this was Kira's chance to live a peaceful life, start over, have a family, which is a bonus, and move on with the rest of his days in peace and quiet. But Kira couldn't do that shit. He's too much of a weirdo. He started moving crazy. He was thinking too much about his fetishes. It was so bad that one day, Kira couldn't handle it anymore. He needed it. So one afternoon, he follows a couple into their apartment, blows up her boyfriend, then puts his ears on his girlfriend's like his earrings, then blows her up and only leaves her hand left. He's crazy. But I'm gonna keep 100 here. If you've seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Kira has the most anticlimactic, most whole death out of any villain in this series, I swear down. Because the way he died was just some bullshit. But before I get into speaking about this, I must mention Killer Queen's third ability. So when Kira became Kosaku, Hayato knew he was sus from the minute he came home that day. So he's been investigating, doing some digging, and finding clues as to who his dad really is. And eventually, Kira's dad, who's a ghost, pulled up to him, and the arrow he was carrying stabbed Kira by itself, which gave him a third ability. Bites the dust. One of the most busted powers I've ever seen. And how it works is if anyone is to figure out Kira's true identity, he would put a bomb in them, which would explode and send them and himself back in time. The man had a failsafe. He tortured Hayato with this over and over again by putting him in a time loop of everyone dying as soon as he clocked who he was. It's mental. Though eventually, due to plot, Hayato outsmarts Kira and the gang figure out who he is without him resetting time, with Jotaro just beating the shit out of this man and taking his life. But remember when I said he has the most anticlimactic death of all JoJo villains? Yeah, so he dies to get run over. How do you die to this crap? You're a stat user. The rest of the villains in this franchise die to either the hands of the main characters or they just get put in a loop where they die over and over again. How did this man die to an ambulance backing up to try and save him? That's some dumb shit. Kira is a true demon. This man is just a creep. And if it wasn't for Shigechi mistaking his sandwich bag for his, this man would have kept doing his whole Dexter shenanigans. He's weird. Going on to my next villain, we have one of One Piece's greatest characters. A man who always has that shit on. A man who always stole the show every time he appeared on screen. A guy that is one of the most evil men to ever exist. The one and only Don Quixote Doflamingo. And yo, as much as I like Doflamingo's fit, I'm gonna call this shit out real quick. Why does this man have the worst case of jackups I've ever seen in my entire life? And no socks, fam. Who is this guy, bro? This man is worth tens of millions of berries. Proper stack. But he's out here wearing trousers like this, showing off his hairy ass legs. And dress shoes with no socks. Criminal. I hate to say it, but in my opinion, low-key.
What's good? What's good? Damn. Yo, you just be dropping lore every time you up in the chat game.
In this fit, the cape carries. I ain't standing by a man with jackups. That's crazy. But I digress. Doflamingo is one of the worst-hearted people in One Piece. Like, the man is a born and bred hater. There's no defense to anything he's done. From him being the biggest black market dealer selling smile fruits to Kaido, blackmailing the king of Dressrosa to buy the country from him, to then betray that deal and force the king into killing a bunch of his subjects, making Doflamingo look like a hero. Using sugar to turn a bunch of people into toys, had slaves working for him in the smile factory, killed his own brother. But he was a snitch, so I kind of understand that one. Made Bellamy his own punching bag and sold so many more nefarious stuff. Like, just look at his list. Look at all the crimes he's done. He's crazy. And by seeing all of this, you would think Doflamingo had to have some crazy, traumatic, depressing backstory which molded him into the villain he is now. I mean, it's kind of understandable, but it's not really. Ever since he was a child, Doflamingo has always been on a madness. From jump, he's always been a supremacist since his family was Celestial Dragons. And the Celestial Dragons are a bunch of waste men, all built like trash, out here wearing helmets like they're SpongeBob and Stanley's tank. Whack fits, solely known across the land for murking people for status and owning people as if they're property. Basically, they're horrible rich people. And Doflamingo's family were also Celestial Dragons from the Holy Land of Marizua. This place stinks, bro. Anyway, Doflamingo's family decided to leave their privileged afterlives since they're actually good people and go to start a whole new life elsewhere as normal townsfolk. But Doflamingo, he hated this. He was pressed at them leaving their life as upperclassmen. He didn't understand why his parents had to drag him and his brother into this giant change and them leaving their best lives to go be normal people. And to an extent, I kind of understand where he's coming from, because it literally makes zero sense. Why would anyone leave their rich life to go be normal? It's like saying you still want to be a millionaire, but you want to work at McDonald's. The food can't be that good. I love my sweet chili wraps though. They're amazing. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm as humble as the next person, but even I know that's some bullshit. And oblivious to all the malevolent actions celestial dragons have caused, his dad reveals to the public that he is one, which gets their house burnt down. And the people are angry. They hate celestial dragons, and they just start chasing them down house to house to kill them, which gets their family to settle down in this rundown shack. His dad even asked to come back to Marijois, and the celestial dragon said hell nah and just hanged up on him. Doflamingo and his brother used to get beat up as kids, and the environment they were in was so bad, their mom died. Their father indirectly caused this shit. No wonder this guy turned out the way he was. They took his life from him. But eventually the townsfolk found them and were trying to kill these men by burning them alive, which got Doflamingo so vexed, he unlocked his conqueror's hotkey and knocked out everyone. And I'm counting this in self-defense, because Doflamingo's family ain't done shit and they trying to kill them. It's crazy. But you see what classism does to people, ladies and gentlemen? This is exactly why you should share your money, so we don't have these stupid tiers to society, and so we can all live in peace and harmony. So here's my cash app, but for what it's worth, it's kind of understandable to what reinforced Doflamingo's hate and mindset. Like, imagine as a kid, you had everything, and it just got taken away from you because your dad thought it would be better for you to be broke. I guarantee you, none of us are gonna be happy after hearing that. We're all gonna tweet. But for what Doflamingo did after this moment, yeah, I'm not defending this guy. So after Doflamingo saves his family, he meets a man who later will become one of his top executives, Treble. This ugly ass guy who convinced Doflamingo to kill his father, which he ends up doing since he thought by bringing his head back to Marijois, he could rejoin the Holy Land. And they said, hell no, we ain't letting you back in. So when all else failed, Doflamingo turned to a life of crime, establishing the Don Quixote pirates, and just causing a bunch of bullshit across the world, making a bunch of guns, drugs, somehow becoming a warlord of the sea, finessing marines, making Smoker look weak, cutting Or's foot off, and just moving like a tyrant for the rest of One Piece, firing straight bullets into Law. And real quick, you see Law and Dressrosa? Oh my days, bro, I gotta get off my chest. It took one arc for this guy to go from making people switch bodies, lifting a whole navy ship, and cutting a whole goddamn island in half, to just getting his shit rooked like 100 episodes later. It doesn't make any sense. This man became sorry, getting packed up several times, even using
Let's
salmon knife. He's just that guy who got finessed by Luffy and now he's in jail. But all in all, he's still diabolical. Moving on to my next villain, who's just evil incarnate, is Junko Enoshima from Danganronpa. Now, I've previously mentioned Danganronpa in a video where I spoke about death games I'm surviving. Y'all should go check it out. But the reason why the death game even exists is because of this woman right here, Junko Enoshima, a 17-year-old schoolgirl who used to be a student at Hope's Peak Academy, a school of which only people with specific talents are recruited to. And Junko's talent is being the ultimate fashionista, which is so far from being a genocidal maniac, but I'ma get there. With Junko having a very successful modeling career and a lot of publicity, it gave her the opportunity to join Hope's Peak, which is where she set up the first killing game, nicknamed The Tragedy at Hope's Peak Academy, in where Junko, alongside her sister Mukuro Ikusaba, the ultimate soldier, got the student council of Hope's Peak to go ahead and murder each other. And if they didn't, Mukuro was just gonna kill them anyway. So they were pretty much cooked here, with Junko pulling up and having a bunch of blackmailing material that they would either want or would just ruin their lives completely. Money, kidnapping family, grudges, secrets that would completely derail everything for them and ruin their lives forever. And thus, with these actions being placed into motion, the first killing game began. Everyone started moving crazy. Murder this, murder that. Shit went from 0 to 100 real quick. Everyone started massacring each other, shooting each other, shanking each other, just doing any bad thing imaginable to themselves, ending anyone in sight. It was mad. Ladies and gentlemen, it was horrific. So once the killing subsided and there was only one guy left, another man joined the battlefield, Izuru Kamakura. Now, before I keep yapping about Junko's crazy...
Nah, bro. Yo, I missed my streak.
antics, I think I need to tell you a little something about Kamakura. Izuru Kamakura is a product of an experiment the school ran to create what's known as the Ultimate Hope, They were tying science to being talented. Shit's crazy. And the test subject of this was a boy named Hajime Hinata, who had no talent and only made it into Hope's Peak by enrolling into the reserve course for the normies. Yeah, they were kind of separated. They had favorites here. And with Hajime undergoing surgery to become Kamakura, he lost all his memories and just became hella nonchalant. So when it came down to him first meeting Junko and hearing her motives, he just decided to tag along because he's bored. Fair enough, man. So once Kamakura pulled up, he knocks the hell out of the last guy, and then that guy gets deleted while Junko starts.
That's not fair. You gotta murk the whole class and then you get some super soldier at the end? Nah.
Breaking into a strategy. After the killing game, she uses tapes of the event to broadcast them to the parents, police, and students of the reserve course to showcase Kamakura's existence, saying that Hope's Peak have been experimenting to create talented people, which basically made the parents feel like dickheads for spending their money sending their kids to the school, made the people in the reserve course feel stupid knowing they're basically making people to get into the better classes, and making the police hella suspicious of illegal experimentation going on at a high school. She's basically sabotaging the school's name so they look terrible in the public eye. For what, you may ask? Well, I'm finna get into that. A little before she made the first game, she met a boy named Ryota Mitarai, the ultimate animator, who dreams of making his own anime one day. And that's beside the point. The most interesting thing about this guy is that he uses specific techniques in his animation to basically make some sort of eye candy for the viewers. Or as it literally is called in the anime, he has brainwashing techniques. So with Junko hearing that, the plan was in motion. Using the footage from the first killing game, combined with the techniques Ryota used to make anime, Junko created a whole brainwashing video that would turn people crazy for despair, essentially making them enjoy killing people. The woman is wicked, and our first targets to use this footage against were none other than the upperclassmen on the ultimate course, which is just the main class from the second game. So by brainwashing their teacher, making the class hella concerned, which got them to go looking for her, that same teacher led the student class rep, Chiaki, into the first torture game. While the rest of the class made their way into the same exact room the trials are held in, and had a front row seat to Chiaki's punishment. And this shit is one of the saddest things I've ever seen. She starts running through some temple run type dungeon, trying to avoid all the traps and things in there designed to kill her. And while she's in there, everyone else is witnessing her in the punishment, which in turn is brainwashing them, making them vulnerable to the despair video Junko manipulated Ryota to make. And as Chiaki thinks she's made it safe and sound to the comfort of her class, she gets shot with a spike and impaled by a room full of them. Shit was tough, man, and that was it. Junko got what she needed to turn the same class of people into murderers. All of them became crazy, started wiping out the general public. She relayed the same video to all the other students at the school, and they started deleting themselves. And if you're wondering how this class caused the end of the world, some of these man's ultimates are stupid. This guy, Yakuza member, used the whole Yakuza to kill a bunch of people. This guy, ultimate chef, poisoned all the food in the world. This girl, ultimate swordsman, she started soloing a bunch of people. And on top of that, Monokuma robots were being made, which were just taking people out in the streets, and the whole world was just cooked then. Junko Enoshima started what is literally called, and I quote, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. And for what, you may ask? Why did Junko decide to end the world? Why did she even want to destroy the planet and cause murders and genuinely turn the earth into a giant shithole? Well, it's because she's crazy. She's evil for the sake of being evil. She likes murder. She likes killing. She likes to see people suffer more than happy. So in other words, she's the devil incarnate. And remember earlier when I told you Junko's ultimate talent is being the ultimate fashionista? I lied. Her real ultimate talent is being the ultimate analyst, which makes sense in how calculated her plans were. She's a genius. This woman is unfathomably evil. I ain't got nothing to say here. She's dark. But Junko is nothing compared to the last person I have in this video. To the viewers still watching by this point, I've spoken a lot about crash outs in my time. Reasonable, unreasonable, evil, not evil, menacing, and just pure good. But this boy I'm about to bring up last is by far the worst person in this video. Sure, he might not have done the same shit as the rest of these guys, but I want you to remember, he's the youngest person to be doing any of this shit in the history of all evil villains. This child is the devil. And this ain't no metaphor, I really mean it this time.
You have to understand, he really likes that fried chicken.
Police are looking for a group of thieves who pulled off quite the brazen robbery.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Can you tell me your name?
Milton.
And your last name?
Deshaun.
In my life, I've met a lot of crazy people, but this kid is the craziest guy I've ever seen, LaMilton. Now, when anyone talks about any menaces from the Boondocks, they usually only talk about Stinkmeaner, his hate toward Robert Freeman, the long vendetta he had toward the Freeman family, even cloning himself to spend the rest of his days trolling them. Well, what if I told you, me personally, I think LaMilton is worse than Stinkmeaner, solely because Stinkmeaner was dedicated to be a hater after he lost his eyesight, whereas LaMilton commits all of the crimes I'm about to tell you, man, and he's only 8 years old. So let me just run through everything LaMilton's done in the show, because he's a different type of evil. He stole his grandma's car and started driving it around like he's a madman, just causing a bunch of mayhem everywhere he went. He was smoking cigarettes. He admits constantly that he likes hurting people and doing bad things. Like, look at his mugshot. Why is he so confident here? He's stunting for his jail photo. What the hell is this man doing? And bless this guy's grandma, because apparently she's too dumb to see how crazy her 8-year-old grandson is. This kid is more menacing than Sukuna. Shit, he's on par with Frieza. And even after being forced by his grandma to apologize to the Freeman family about his actions, that was all some bullshit. Because the next time we hear from LaMilton, he beat up his grandma. Elder abuse. Charge this guy. Yo, this kid is so mad that a whole school counselor started tailing him. Then he pulled up to the Freeman house and started telling Granddad and Huey how much of a parasite this kid was, saying that he spent 2 years trying to help him and then another 2 years trying to lock him away. It was bad enough that LaMilton stole his grandma's car, but the fact that somebody from a school is following up on him is crazy. But this isn't even the worst to come with this guy, because what he does in the second half of this episode is mortifying. After Riley and LaMilton do a bunch of hooligan shit together, Riley decided he's tired and done for the day. And that's when LaMilton convinces him to watch movies at his house. Now you see right here, when they pull up to his crib, this is when you see this child is a psychopath. So when Huey starts chilling at LaMilton's house, LaMilton decides to put on a scary movie. Riley asks him, why do you watch these movies all the time? And this guy LaMilton just replies with, I like watching people get hurt. It looks fun to me. I want to hurt people. Brother, when I heard this for the first time, I was so lost. Whose mans is this? Where are his parents? Then LaMilton says that he wants to show Riley something. And this guy just pulls out a strap, fully loaded, magazine full pistol, telling Riley now they can hurt whoever they want, whenever they want. And then he forces Riley to go with him because he has a blick in his hands. An 8-year-old held another 8-year-old hostage. This guy's evil. Then the next hands. An 8-year-old held another 8-year-old hostage. This guy's evil. Then the next day, LaMilton pulls up on Riley, asking him why haven't they hung out to go be menaces again, with Riley just saying, I don't want to chill with you no more. Then this man just threatens him again with the blick. So LaMilton forces Riley to chill with him, telling him that they're gonna go rob this house and steal everything in there, until a dog starts barking at them crazy. Riley wanted to leave, but LaMilton, he takes his gun and deletes the dog from existence. He murked the dog for nothing. What the hell am I even supposed to say here? He's a demon. But don't worry, LaMilton has finally been backed by the police. They got him. Finally, the streets will be safer and life will be a lot more joyous again with this maniac of the streets. So LaMilton got out of jail the next day. After Riley finishes detention, boom! LaMilton was waiting for him. Started threatening him like crazy, pulling out the blick once more. Then Riley jacked his gun, paced all the way up the stairs, and dashed it off the building, leading to LaMilton to just give Riley a hefty bang in the face. And then these men get to scraping. Eventually, LaMilton is beaten and he's dangling off the side of the building, with only Riley holding him up. Then, when Granddad, Huey, and the guy from the school pull up, the man from the school paces to Riley and forces him to drop LaMilton, with it ultimately leading to his untimely demise. Oh, I like LaMilton survived the fall, man. Then the school counselor just yeets himself onto LaMilton and tries to murk him. Again, this guy was dedicated. He knew the type of menace he was. LaMilton is the scariest 8-year-old I've ever seen in my life. And the most craziest thing about LaMilton is, you know how most of whatever happens in the Boondocks is based off real events? LaMilton is based off a real kid, Latarian Milton, who stole his grandma's car and crashed it like a madman. I guess you could say he liked doing bad things. LaMilton is the most dangerous person mentioned in this video because he accomplished all of this at 8. Imagine what he's capable of doing at 10, 12, 16, 20. The possibilities are endless. He would have ended the world worse than Junko. And if I ever saw LaMilton, I'm calling it quits, bro. My life is over. But these were some guys in anime that are just the definition of menaces. If you man got any more I haven't mentioned, I want to see some in a future video like this, let me see it in the comments down below, man. Also, I will be doing a future upload that has something to do with public transport. I'm not gonna disclose what it is, but it gonna be nice.
I already seen he dropped that. Boom. We're gonna get into the game. we're playing Little Nightmares. We're trying to play this game for a minute. Excuse me, I went to the wrong screen. Probably play for an hour. It's showing up on the. Why isn't it showing up on my screen then? Okay. What the hell? We're gonna close this all together because it's bugging. Let's try this again. Dude, like it's popping up on the screen capture, but dog. Like it's displaying everything right now, but it's not on my actual screen. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I think I got it working. Never mind, I probably don't. I played for a couple minutes before, but I don't play some. Cause the thing is, if I show y'all, it's just black on my screen, but it's displaying. So if I want to play, I have to play off the OBS, but that wouldn't make any sense. Cause I might have to reset the computer. It's being mad odd. I'm gonna try one more time. One more time I'll try this. It was working before. It might have been on for too long. This is the last try before I restart it. Yo, I made an edit using this game. I'm scared to post it. I'ma send it. Alright, bet. Yeah, nah, like, and the thing is with Little Nightmares, yeah, nah, I gotta reset the computer real quick, but the stream's gonna be right back up, y'all. Make sure y'all don't go nowhere. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see if it works. It's no work. It's no work. It's not working. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Like, I like this. This is interesting. Hold on. I'm gonna check out the TikTok, but I have to reset the stream. So, be right back.